three of the key points that are in that course that I think have application to this business of talking to blank and holding them accountable is, first of all, use I language. The word you in any situation, corrective situation, or a situation where you're asking people to change is inherently accusatorial. For example, your name is, what is it? Kasana. Now, if I said, Kasana, you made a mistake there. Am I attacking the problem or am I attacking Kasana? Kasana, you made a mistake. My language accuses you right there on the spot. I would guess you're going to get defensive just from that language. Okay? And along with that, focus on the present and the future and beware the past. The past is a tough place because it can't be changed. It's gone. And all we can do is debate about whether it happened or not or how it happened. And when I say to Kasana, you made a mistake, am I in the present or the past? Past. I say, Kasana, you didn't take responsibility for following up with that customer. Am I in the present or the past? The past. Can she do anything about the fact she didn't take responsibility? No. All she can do is argue with me or get defensive. Better to say, you know, Kasana, in the future, I need you to follow up with these customers after they leave to make sure that they got what they wanted. That's all it takes. Now we're in the present going into the future. You know, when you attack people in the past, you put them in a box. They can't get out. And yet we do it all the time, especially when we have fights with our spouses. You know, my wife is the most assertive person I know. She is one outspoken person. It's something I love about her. And we've been married 45 years. But I can still remember when we were dating, when we started dating, she was dating other guys, and I was jealous of them. And I'm still a little jealous of them after 45 years. And she says, get over it, Larry. But I could just imagine me saying to her, you know, you dated that slime ball. And she's likely to say, yeah, and then I married you. I must have been on a roll. Yeah. The past is gone. Better to focus on the present and the future when we have conversations. When you have that conversation, and maybe you're not going to have a conversation, you're just going to listen more and be more involved. That may do the trick. But if you have to have a conversation to ask people to change, probably stick in the present or the future. And then number 3 is listen to be heard. This is probably the most important one, is listen to be heard. For example, who here has a strong opinion about politics, either Republican or Democrat? Somebody? Anybody have strong opinion? Raise your hand. This lady here?
Yes, she does.
She does. Okay. And you are what? Can I ask? Conservative. I would assume Republican, or are you a Republican on steroids?
No.
No. Okay, but you're conservative. Okay. So you probably vote for the next in the next election for the Republican nominee.
Highly likely.
Highly likely. Okay. And your name is?
Christine.
Christine. Well, Christine, you're wrong.
Thank you.
Okay, stop right there. Yeah. Now, if you couldn't hear what Christine said, I said, you're wrong. And she nodded her head, and she said, thank you. That is a polite way for Christine to tell me to stick it. Yeah. And it was polite, yeah. I did a demonstration like this one time, and the question wasn't politics. It was, I think it was, do you believe in spanking your kids? And this guy raised his hand. I said, you're wrong. He looked at me and said, yeah, buddy, you take my kids for a while, see how you feel about it. Yeah. Now, can we go with this a little bit? Sure. So, why are you conservative? Why is that your philosophy?
Because I believe in the tenets of conservatism, capitalism, supporting the Constitution and the way it's written,
Okay.
all of our rights,
Okay.
as designed.
As designed by the founders.
Yes.
Yeah, and that part of our system is capitalism, and that's really done well for us.
And I believe in personal accountability.
Bingo, yes. So holding yourself accountable for doing what you say you're going to do?
Yeah, and that each person should be accountable for their own behavior, not
Okay.
rely on others to correct their behavior or to support their behavior, whether it's emotionally or monetarily.
Okay, so in other words, kind of stand on your own 2 feet. Absolutely, okay. Well, here's how I feel about it. You know, there's some people, Christine, that, and I agree with you to a certain extent, but there's some people who they're just not able to do that. And so there has to be some kind of safety net for them. And so that's why I kind of lean to the left more than the right.
I think a safety net is very different than having a philosophy that the safety net covers more than those that really need it. Because I am in agreement with you. I think there are those that absolutely do need it, and I believe in a safety net, but that should not become the norm.
Okay, let's stop right there. We could go on with this all afternoon. Okay, now, Christine, did I convince you when I presented to you why I believe the way I believe? Did I change your mind in any way?
In no way, shape, or form.
Okay, I didn't think I would. Well, let me ask you this, Christine. Which time were you more willing to listen to me? The first time when I said you're wrong, or the second time when I said, tell me what you think?
Absolutely the second time.
The second time. And then what did I do that was different from the first time? When she started telling me, what did I do? I listened. And I fed it back to you so you knew I was listening to you. And you started giving me little signals like, yeah, you're right, absolutely. See, that just tells me that she knows I'm listening to her. And once I got those signals, then I had sort of permission to share my point of view, and she was more willing to listen. Does that make sense? You know, I call it earning yourself a hearing. And if you want people to behave in a more accountable fashion, the first thing that's important for them to do is to give you a fair hearing so they hear what you have to say. Well, they're not about to give you a fair hearing until you give them a fair hearing. And ironically, that's often the last thing we're willing to do, especially in a heated argument.